Sitting down here at the 9-foot homemade oak bar, I have the principal of Evergreen Park Community High School, Matt Dugans, down here. How are you?
Welcome. I'm happy to be back. I'm doing great.
A year ago, right? I mean, not exactly a year. I think it was over the summer.
Yep.
You came in here and you were getting ready for your first year of this. And, you know, the principal beforehand had been there for a while. And this was like, okay, I'm walking into something really good because it's a really good school that seems to was already on the upswing. And I got the feeling that you were like, I just don't want to screw anything up in the first year. Right?
I would say that would be the goal for a year one principal is don't screw it up. So there's like 5 days left and I haven't done that yet. So I'm going to say we've done a good job this year, but just what a great year. What a great year. And thanks for having me back.
Oh, thanks for coming back. What was your biggest surprise of the year? It could be something that surprised you that you didn't realize you were going to have to deal with, or it could have been some really exciting, pleasant surprise. What would you say surprised you the most this year?
I knew going in what a good school it was. Again, just amazed at the quality of our students and just how great they are, and then our staff supporting them and getting them to their end goal, whatever that may be. Just blown away with the dedication from both students and staff in my first year. Really, really was impressed. And so it was fun. It was a fun year.
That's cool. That's awesome. And I would think that, maybe you expected it, but I would think that you've learned a lot of the personalities inside of that building, right? Because we've interviewed them here on this show. You have some very interesting and also very personable teachers that are in different areas of the school that have appeared on this show. And then you have people that just have really good ideas. The first one that pops in my mind is Tina Ward, who's running your library over there, and the way that they put together that literary festival this year in conjunction with the Evergreen Park Library. But I walked through that thing just out of curiosity. And I was just amazed at how well they pulled it off for a first-time event. And to have people in there that are kind of like free thinkers and coming up with things and not just going 9 to 5, punching a clock must be a nice thing.
No, I think that's really it, is the amount of people from all angles of the staff just coming in and saying, like, how can we grow? How can we do better? And that Lit Fest was a hit. And you said it was seamless. The authors were talking about this was probably the best Lit Fest they've been to. And this was the first one we've ever pulled off. And you're hearing compliments from the authors saying this was the easiest one they've ever been a part of. The transitions, the breakout rooms, the big group sessions were just, again, the dedication of Dr. Ward and then the Evergreen Park Library staff to put that together. And it took a long time, a lot of planning. So they're planning one in 25, 26. So they're looking to do one in 2 years now and make this, maybe every 2 year type of event.
What did you think of your senior class? I only ask that because I have a senior that's graduating and is on her way off to college. And it hit me this week while we were getting ready for all the graduation stuff and just going to some of the events at her school that this is the class that lost their 8th grade graduation. This is the class that started high school on a computer. And nobody else had that experience. And now you get to see what they're like year 4 at the end, ready to go out into the world. And I'm curious if you have, even though you were only their principal here for the last year, what your impression is of that class, because I think that's a very special class. I think they're going to look back on these last 4 years very differently than most people look back on high school. And they're going out into a world probably filled with an awful lot of hope. When they first started at school 4 years ago, it was not that way.
No, and I think this class was a special class for that reason. They left their mark on the school in such a positive way. I would say that a lot of our seniors were driving the school in just such a fast pace as far as improving, constantly improving the culture and climate, but also just striving for greatness. Simple things such as they wanted to do a senior sunrise where you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and watch the sunrise. Things like that came from our seniors. But at the same time, you have the first ever basketball sectional championship in 51 years, led by a group of seniors, right? You got Nolan Sexton and Billy Buchanan on there with Trey. Just a great group of guys that just drove our school to success in that end. We have records being broken in sports. You have the seniors in the music department making all-state. We had 3 students go all-state in choir and music for, one time in 1 year. That hasn't happened in a long time. So you have this group of students that are just going out there and putting themselves out there in whether it be sports or activities or academics And just to see their success and to see their drive, it was fascinating. It was something that you really want to champion and support and help them in any way possible. And I was fortunate to be able to do that this year.
When you look at all those accomplishments this year, because I noticed them, I think anybody who was paying any attention to what was going on over at Evergreen Park High School noticed them, right? Your football team played well. Your basketball team did something incredible. It feels like Tim Moran over there, who's your PR guy, your media relations guy, is sending me something every week. This kid won an award. Evergreen Park did this for the first time ever. It was a big year. Does it make you nervous now that you're going to go in the next year and it's like, I got to keep up? Or do you look at this year as great year? It was, sometimes you can't duplicate it year in, year out, but we're going to take this one, we're going to put it on a shelf, we're going to be happy? Or do you feel like a weight of like, all right, now I got to keep this pace up. We just got to keep getting bigger and better?
No, it's exactly that. We definitely want to go bigger and better. And again, you can't replicate, athletic success every single year, right? With guaranteeing you're going to improve. But I
expect that from the White Sox.
Well,
they can't be any worse than this. Well, I don't mean to interject anything, but like I get what you're saying about that at the high school level, but I have a higher standard for my professional sports teams. I just want to make sure
they're all going to get injured. They're going to be 2 and 160 in next year. So just don't hold out hope. But no, you want to push them, and you don't want to rest on just like, this was a great year. But again, just knowing that this junior class has aspirations to reach, and they have goals to set for themselves as a class. And so really that's something we've done internally as a school, is kind of had, we involve our students in a lot of the processes that we have, whether they're meeting with me once a month to go over ways to improve the school. We have students interviewing teachers as part of our interview process. So our students truly have grown and developed the school, and we're going to continue to foster that. And on our end, like, we're putting them in positions, just listening to them and hearing things that they're interested in. We got a firefighter internship that's open next year. We have a professional internship, so basically if you want to go into the business world. And then we're excited. We also have a construction and an architecture drafting internship that we're having for seniors next year. And again, we're just trying to open doors for our students and have them have any opportunity they want that is out there. And so we're partnering with businesses in EP as well as in the Chicagoland area to make that happen. And we're excited about what that's going to look like for not only next year, but for years to come.
So you're kind of touching already on things that you want to do next year.
Oh, yeah, they're happening.
Is that it? You got any other goals? You got anything you want to share with the community? You got things ruminating that you haven't even put out there yet?
We got some things in the works. Our scores are consistently going up. And I think that's, again, just a testament to not only our students, but our teaching staff. Meg Schillo, our director of curriculum, as well as the rest of the administration team, just working to say, we have kids that want to go into the trades, right? We have a great trades program in our school through woodshop and welding, but we also have 20 AP classes, which, familiar with the South Side, it's more than all the private schools in the area, and something that we're very proud of. But not only that, our students are showing success in those classes, and then you're going into college with college credit. And again, just making sure we have every opportunity to put our students out there. And again, we want to drive our students to be successful in whatever it is. And so some of those internships are really that next component, right? If we have these career pathways and then we have this college pathway, what's the next one? It's starting to help them with networking and getting out there before they're even out of high school and getting a contact and having real world experience in possibly the career or pathway they want to go into.
I think that means so much. I'm going to tell you, I did some college visits with my daughter, and one of the schools she didn't go to was Louisville, but they had offered her a bunch. They had basically said, we'll give you in-state tuition. She was looking at their engineering program. We went down there. They sat there and explained to us that part of their program over the 4 years, that 3 of the semesters, they don't actually go to class. They work for somebody.
Yeah.
So they walk out not only with a paid salary, so they were able to earn some money while they were there to continue paying for their education, but they get that year's experience. And experience seems to be everything. And yes, you're preparing a lot of these kids to go off to college. You have some kids that are preparing that they want to dive right into something right after they get out of high school. So I think that's really interesting. Is that the new trend in education, is not just teach them something, but give them real world experience so that they're ready when they walk out the door?
I think it's the best thing you should do. And again, going into it, we already had an educational internship class at our school. So the students would go and they would work at Northeast, Southeast, Southwest, Northwest, and they would be in a kindergarten class. They'd help develop lesson plans, and they get to work with kids. And it's a great class, and it currently runs. Mr. Pasek, our golf coach, oversees it. He does a wonderful job. But talking with those students, some of them identified right away, like, hey, I'm not going to be a teacher. Like, this is something that I recognized right now. This is not for me. So now they're not going off into college and then doing 3 years of educational classes with their rest of their undergrad.
And then realizing they didn't want to do it.
And realizing they wasted it and then having to redo it. And some of them, it was the opposite. Some of them were like, this is 100% exactly what I do. Like, I don't know if I want to do kindergarten, but I want to be a teacher and this is really my passion. And I thought it was just one of those things that we were brainstorming and saying like, yeah, I would love for kids to, take a third art class, and some do because that's what they want to do. But some kids are like, all right, instead of a third art class, what can we do? And it really was this internship and opening up doors for students that really kind of was driven by this educational internship and the success we had with that, and seeing students really succeed and really benefit one way or the other by having that experience. And so that's really what kind of drove our internship mission and again, it really is for seniors, but it's something that we're going to develop and grow. And as it grows, it's just going to get better and better.
One of the things that I noticed, because I live on 99th, so I get your kids, they walk by my house before and after school. I get kids that walk by my house from Macaulay and Brother Rice. I get the track teams are running by. I mean, like there's a lot of high school kids running around in front of my house during the school year at certain times during the year. I get to see them driving up and down the street and going to their classes and all that stuff. And I am struck by the fact that after being here on this street for now 18 years, since I have an 18-year-old and I bought it when she was born, I have had very few and far between. And it's been a long time since I have witnessed or heard of any issues with your kids. It's as if they understand that they're in a community when they get let out and they're not running wild and crazy. And I think about when I was a high school kid, we did that. We caused a lot of trouble, right? Like I always expect more trouble. I don't really get it from your kids. Is that something you guys focus on, is explaining to them like, hey, walking in, walking out, remember there's houses here, these people live here? Is that just something that's happening with this generation? Are they a milder generation than mine? I'm trying to figure it out.
I think it's both. I'd like to take some credit for that, right? Not me personally, but just the school as a whole. Like we do a big thing on Mustang Pride and what it means to be an Evergreen Park Mustang student. And yeah, I mean, again, when I told you the best part about our school was just, again, the students and their drive and their dedication towards not only our school, but our community. I mean, they're in everything from jobs to park district stuff and then outside of their clubs and sports. So we definitely emphasize that. But I'll go with you on the milder generation. I think they're better than both me and you when we were in high school.
We were bad.
I mean, I was probably terrorizing Oak Lawn and Chicago Ridge, but no, the kids are great. We don't have any issues. And again, I think that's something that, I previously worked at schools that were a little bit more hands-on with discipline, and here, nothing, just some high school stuff here and there, but we could all deal with that. We've all been there. But other than that, we don't. The kids are amazing.
That's awesome.
Amazing students.
What are you doing this summer now? What do you do? Because I always had, my sister gets mad at me because she's a teacher at the high school level. She gets mad at me because I'm always like, well, now you're off for 3 months. And she gets annoyed with me when I do that because she's like, no, I got to go do this and I got to go do that. Like, it's not really, you're off for the entire summer. So you're the principal. Yeah. What are you doing this summer?
We're finalizing schedules, finalizing sectioning, all those things that, the spreadsheet, boring work that no one wants to actually look at and actually I have to like procrastinate to try to do it.
I saved the question till the end because I knew it would be boring.
I try to wait until the end to do it too. So we'll do sectioning, scheduling, teacher schedules, and again, finalizing any of our partnerships with things in the community going forward, looking at possibly new curriculum. Those are all the things that are a lot of curriculum planning is done over the summer, working with our teachers, working with our department chairs on things over the summer as well as anything that may come up. But welcoming new families in, obviously they move in, so they're going to complete the registration process during the summer because they haven't moved into Evergreen Park yet. So stuff like that happens all the time, and that's really what it's kind of fun because you have a big project that you have to work on over the course of a couple of weeks, and you got the stuff that'll come up and take you away from it, so you're away from a computer screen. So I kind of enjoy that time, get a lot of work done over the summer.
Awesome. Matt Dugan here, the principal of Evergreen Park Community High School. Nice enough to stop in with us. Congrats on the end of the first year.
Thank you.
Although I do think that I'm not going to say you have an easy job. You actually have a hard job to keep things the way that they have been going over there and keep the growth and, the high level of everything happening at that high school. But that high school, I tell people all the time when they talk about the difference between public and private school, I go, we have such a great public high school here in Evergreen.
Yep.
And when I describe it to people, I think they're sometimes surprised at how glowing I am of the entire thing. Because every time I'm over there, every time I'm involved with your kids, I'm always impressed.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And if anyone listening, come out, new season, new football field. So new football field, new scoreboard. So if you're coming out, we're just facilities getting better and better. So
awesome. Thanks, Matt.
All right. Thank you.